What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for the day. Yesterday was a very slow day for it because it was a Sunday. Sunday's always very slow for us. Monday's also normally very slow for us. There's just not that many lines out on the board. Once we start hitting really tomorrow with Taco Tuesday, and then once we get to like Wednesday, Thursday, things really start ramping up because a lot of the weekend plays start coming out and we can start betting on those. But yeah, everything you see here on the screen is really what I sent out yesterday. So I only sent out like 4 or 5 entries. And one of them was actually the free play that I gave to the YouTube play, obviously. So really slow day. We had a lot of correlation happen, which is amazing to see, and I do want to go over that. If you guys don't know, on Saturday, we actually went up 25 units alone using a lot of Canadian football. So there's been 2 weekends of Canadian football so far this year, and we are not going to have a weekend this whole year, this whole rest of the year without football, which is very exciting. If you don't know why that's exciting, because Canadian football or any form of football is very correlated together, which is the strategy of why we are so profitable on this channel, okay? So this was actually 2 Saturdays ago. We went up 40 units. This Saturday, we went up 25 or 26 units. That is what this looks like here. Since May 1st, guys, we have gone up about 58 units since then, and we are up 171 units on the year. And also, guys, we last year went up about 500 to 600 units betting and using this exact same strategy. And if you don't believe me using the same strategy, or I don't know why you wouldn't really believe me, but you guys can go back on any video on this channel, and I really recommend, like, if you're on the fence about the VIP, or like, you know, is this guy really legit, you guys can look at any video that I've posted over the past year, and you guys will see, and this always amazes me, that really nothing has changed too much, right? I'm still betting on League of Legends. I'm still betting on Counter-Strike. I'm still betting on football, because these are really the most profitable things because they are so correlated together. I will also urge you guys, there's a lot of comments in yesterday's video. In full transparency, if you guys don't know, I'm very transparent. I track everything. I've tracked over 5,000 bets on the VIP, and we have won 14 out of 15 months that I've been doing this, over 5,000 bets, right? So again, you know, think about it as like a poker player. If you're a poker player and you've played poker 5,000 times and you've gone up, 670 units in the span you've been playing poker, no one's really going to doubt that guy is not extraordinarily good at poker, right? That's probably a professional poker player. So again, we've done 5,000 bets, more than 5,000 bets even at this point in time. And again, we are up about 700, even close to 800 units if you take 2024 and 2025 combined, okay? Again, in full transparency, what I did yesterday is because we had such an amazing day on Saturday, up 25 units. I sent this out to my VIP and I said, comment a review of the VIP, a truthful review of the VIP for a $50 giveaway. I will say I'm going to do the giveaway tomorrow, actually, just to get everything set up nicely. But I really recommend, again, if you're on the fence, to go back and look at all of the comments in yesterday's videos. I screenshot some of my favorites. So if you commented yesterday, I really appreciate that. That really helps me out and just shows people I'm legit, right? Because there's hundreds of people on the VIP cashing every single day. I'm not going to say every day, because it's not like we win every day. That's not really like possible on PrizePicks. You can't win every day, but like I said, 14 out of past 15 months we've won, and we've had a ton of gone up a ton of units. So maybe every week, every month we have cashed, whatever that means to you. But you know, all these guys are cashing on the VIP, and you know, are real people cashing on the VIP, right? 3 4-man hits yesterday, like I showed in the screenshot, right? So let's get into yesterday's plays. Again, not too much to go over, just because there's not that many entries, but there was a ton of great correlation to really go over and have kind of as a teaching point and of our main strategy. So to recenter what we do, I do correlation, right? And that's going to be with esports. That's going to be with football. For example, if you have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce together, they're either going to go over their yards together or under their yards together, because they're a very correlated duo, right? If Mahomes throws for 400 yards, Travis Kelce's probably going to get 100 yards or something like that. If Mahomes only throws for like 150 yards, Kelce's maybe only going to get like 30 yards. That means they're either going to go over or under together, and that's the exact same strategy we use in college football, in Canadian football, and in esports, okay? So you guys can see here, we have this League of Legends game where I took the unders and the overs with 2 different teams playing each other. I took this guy to go over, these guys to go under. The opposite ends up happening, because it's very correlated, right? So C9 actually ends up winning this game, and they win 2 out of the 3 games. So these guys go way over, these guys go under. In Counter-Strike here, this is actually really cool to see because I took Paravision and Eslot, I think is how you say their names. I took the overs on 4 different guys. Sorry, I took the overs on 2 guys and I took the unders on 2 guys in this same game here. So I actually retook this game, but I took the unders down here and then I took the overs over here. And what happened, this game goes to overtime. So everyone in this game went over, okay? No matter who it is, everyone in this game went over. You guys can see I bet on 4 separate players. This guy goes way over his line. This guy goes way over his line. This guy goes way over his line. And this guy goes way over his line, because the longer a game goes in Counter-Strike, the more kills that are going to happen, right? And that's kind of obvious, right? Like the more a game goes on, the more likely you're going to get more and more kills because the game is still going on. You're able to play more rounds out, play more games out, right? So this stuff, it's not rocket science, but if you bet like this, it's the smartest way to bet on PrizePicks. Here's another great example of that with golf and with League of Legends. And actually what we did with golf is I knew it was going to rain, right? The forecast looked like it was going to rain. That's what happened. If you guys watched the US Open yesterday, absolutely poured yesterday. So these guys had a worse day than what other people thought they were going to do or what these lines thought they were going to do. So these guys actually go over together, but unfortunately the League of Legends goes over and under together right here because this is opposite correlation. So hopefully that makes sense. That is, a huge part of the VIP. And if you're in the VIP, I really want you guys to really grasp that, right? Another thing, guys, is that you need to understand the power of an 8.5 or a 9x and stuff like that, because you guys see, 4 entries right here that ended up missing. If we end up coming back today and hitting 8x or 8.5x, that is going to pay for this, and additionally go up another 2 to 3 units on top of that, okay? So the 8x's, the 9x's, the 10x's, they are extremely powerful, and don't be scared in your PrizePicks account, because this is how PrizePicks works, to have loss, and then 1 hit, and then loss, 1 hit, right? If you're looking to have more green and more wins than losses in PrizePicks, you're honestly on the wrong app, because there's no way you're going to hit more 2-mans than lose more 2-mans, because the 2-mans play and pay 3x, or the 4-mans pay 10x or 9x or whatever it is. So hopefully you guys grasp that too. Just trying to kind of give you guys some insights on how you should start thinking about betting if you want to be winning long term. Obviously, just very quickly, Chelsea Gray goes under. Inspired barely goes over 24 right here. I think it was honestly a good call. He bumped to 22.5 by game time, and we had him at 24. He had a really bad game 3. He actually had 0 assists all the way up until the 30-minute mark. His team ends up pulling a crazy comeback at the end, and they look like they were going to come back and win, but he ends up getting 6 or 7 assists, barely goes over, and then his team throws the game again and ends up losing the game. Okay, so crazy game 3 by him there. It really looked like he was going to go under, and he was really at 20 or 21 assists for a really long time, and then he ends up barely going over because his team actually pulls a crazy comeback away. So, we missed by 1, guys. It is what it is at the end of the day. But you guys know that we win in League of Legends all the time. So again, I feel like that was a lot of information. So if you guys stayed along for that, I really appreciate it. But a goal of this channel is to be transparent and also to provide you guys information with how to win long term, right? I do not want you guys to lose money anymore. My main goal is to make you guys money and to protect you guys' bankroll from losing money. And it's important to change the way that you think about betting, because most people, guys, just as a fact, lose betting. So by definition, to win sports betting, you have to do things that are different than what the majority of the population does, guys. If you want to win long-term sports betting, you have to think differently, and you have to treat this like a business. You have to treat this differently than most people do, really, because most people are losing sports bettors. So, if you just want to bet for fun, whatever. But, the main goal of this channel is to actually make you guys money, because making money is fun, right? So we have Bree Stewart to go under 6.5 rebounds. That is the first pick of the day here. I'm about to get into why I like her at under 6.5 rebounds. And then I have Trayson to go over 7 kills. Okay, so I really like this line here. I like it at 7, and I like it at 7.5 a lot. And I will explain the number one reason why I like this entry here. Trayson averages 2.5 kills per loss, okay? So how League of Legends works is that the winning team is normally going to get a lot more kills. The losing team is normally going to get less kills, okay? It kind of just makes sense. If you're losing in the game, you're going to get less kills. That's kind of like points in the game, right? You're just going to get less kills as a team. The winning team is likely to get more kills, okay? So I will say the team that this guy is on is not favored in this game. They are the underdogs, but they're not the underdogs by a ton, okay? So I think they'll probably pull out at least one win in this series. He's playing 3 maps here. But the craziest part about this, guys, is that his line is at 7. So the worst case scenario, right? The worst thing that can happen is Heretics ends up losing all 3 games. They end up going 0-3, right? That would be the worst case scenario. They get swept, they lose all 3 games, and Trayson, his team loses every single game that they play. But what's crazy is he is averaging 2.5 kills in losses. So if his team gets swept and he ends up losing 3 games in a row, he is still averaging over this. He is still averaging 7.5 in the course of 3 maps, okay? So hopefully you guys understand that, is that the worst case scenario here is that this guy gets swept and this guy loses all 3 games, but he still averages over this now. KCB, by the way, is about plus 250 to sweep the series, so that is pretty unlikely, right? That's about the same odds as maybe like Shohei Ohtani hitting a home run, right? And you might say, well, Shohei Ohtani is really good. He hits a lot of home runs, but it's still more unlikely, a lot more unlikely that he's not going to hit a home run than he is going to hit a home run, right? So again, there's a chance they get swept, but even if they do get swept, he still averages over this, right? On average, on just his last 10 games, or I think I took like his last 12 games or something like that, he does average about 4 kills per game. So this would put him at 12. So if you just look at his pure averages, he would be at 12. If you look at his averages per loss, he's at 7.5. And again, I think at 7 is an absolute steal for him to take him over here. I think this is going to bump to at least 7.5 by game time. I would definitely take it at 7.5, take it at 7 and 7.5. All right. So next play is going to be Breeze Stewart to go under 6.5 rebounds, guys. I will say, this is one of those situations where it's like she either gets 7 rebounds or she gets like 1 or 2 rebounds. Okay, so it's kind of hard to read her. It seems like it's very based off of minutes. You guys can see she plays 35 minutes, she gets 7 rebounds. She plays 34 minutes, she gets 7 rebounds. She plays 35 minutes, she gets 11 rebounds here. So it's based off of minutes. If she can play in that kind of like 25 to maybe 30 minute range, I think she's going to go under this. Every time that you bet on the New York Liberty, you have to factor in that this could be a blowout, okay? Because they are the absolute, by far and away, the best team in the WNBA. The team she is facing, the Atlanta Dream, is the #1 team in rebounds against, okay? They are the #1 rebounding team. So we are pretty much pairing up Breeze Stewart. She hasn't really been the dominant rebounder that she is in the past years, and we are taking her under here. And this is one of those situations where I think it was almost like yesterday's play with Gray, where it's like I just like her under, right? You can see she sometimes barely hits over at 7, but most of the time, guys, she's in this range of like 1 to 5 rebounds, okay? And there might be the opportunity where she barely gets 7 and we go over, but most of the time she's in that range of a lot lower than this, right? You guys can see she is actually averaging in the last 10 games 5.4 rebounds, okay? So she's averaging a whole rebound under this line that it's at right now, which is huge, especially in basketball. Basketball is probably one of the most like sharpest things to bet on, where like these 0.5 differences matter a ton, okay? So 7 rebounds I think is way too much for her. I would take this at 6.5 all the day, all day under. If you can get at 6, it's also definitely takeable. Obviously 6.5 is going to be better to take the unders there. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Before I do want to say there's a lot of opportunities to get my VIP for free for 2 months. First opportunity is with Better. You can actually get Better and get a free $10, okay? So they're pretty much handing you a $10 bill to download this app. Super simple. All you have to do is text me the word Better and I'll get you the link to do that. And you will get 2 free months of VIP on top of that if you follow the instructions. You guys can also sign up for Bovada. If you're in one of these blue states, Bovada is legal. A lot of people do not know how many states Bovada is legal in. Again, I have some instructions. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to sign up for Bovada. Put some money into Bovada, take a $1 bet. I'm actually paying people back that money for Bovada too. All you have to do is text me Bovada to this number right here, and I'll get you guys 2 free months of the VIP. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.